Let's go. What up, everybody? We're live and direct. It's my last day off, so I got to go back to the oil field. Well, I'm happy, though. I'm grateful. Christy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you, Nino?
Pretty good. Let me get this ready to send to the Discord chat. Grab this, copy this. Guys, thank y'all for joining us. Real quick, we're doing an impromptu live due to, just the topic and the time is very short. So I'm sending this to the Discord. And forgive me, Christy. So today, can you explain what happened today? And I was there, but go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
You want me to kind of just give a really quick backstory?
Yeah, give a quick backstory, but I'll say real quick. I was there. Commissioner Court, I just dropped the video on my reaction, but they had a court proceeding today. God bless everybody watching now and on the repeat. And it was a packed house. Christy, go ahead and give your opening summary, and then we're going to expose some of these leftist liberal lunatics, and we're going to talk about the whole situation. Go ahead.
So we started receiving some anonymous calls about 3 months ago about needing, America's help with things that were going on with the Midland library.
And real quick, sis, I'm gonna interject again. It's happening across the whole nation. That's what they said in the court proceeding today. Why they just attacking books now, but people are waking up across the nation. They don't want this filth around their children. Go ahead.
So we started receiving these calls that they needed some anonymous help, that there was going to be a huge Kirk Cameron event that was happening at the library. There was no publicity going on about it. And their concerns about the books that were in the library that has been talked about since March of 2023 and them being on the shelves. Whenever questioning the head librarian at the library, she had assured that she had moved all those books behind her desk and that they were not at ease for children to get. If a child requested the book, she would sign it out to them.
And we believe she's a liar.
Yeah, exactly. That they would not be on the shelves anymore.
And the representative for
different occasions.
Christy, I'm gonna interject real quick. Let me kind of dissect as you go. But the lady from the library walked in today with the big old freaking mask, looked like freaking the biggest mask I've seen in my life. Walks in today to give her a statement. I was basically harassed at the public library for not wearing a mask during the Rona season. So that's the kind of people we're dealing with, y'all. Go ahead, Christy.
Yeah. So we're told 2 different times that the books were behind the desk, that the librarian could give these to the kids. So, and fast forward just not even a week ago, got another call needing help, that we found out that there were some volunteers that had agreed to help with a court order. They were not court appointed, but they were volunteers that agreed to help remove these books from the library shelves because it had still not been done.
It's been months, y'all. It's been months and they don't move the books. And real quick, Chris, I got to interject too. Yeah. They weren't volunteers. These were private citizens. They were concerned, and they went friends of, Diane Anderson, I believe the commissioner appointed official. They were not even volunteers. Or they were volunteers, but they were just concerned citizens. We got to make that point. Go ahead.
Well, and that's what I was saying. They were not appointed by the court, anything like that. The library was given a certain date to remove these books off the shelf and to find a new, and I'm putting quotes around the word, home for them. It never happened by that date.
Nope.
So these concerned citizens got involved and said, hey, we'll help get those off the shelves to find a new home for them. And this is how this is all kind of progressed from here.
And the news got involved. This wicked witch, we're going to post a picture of her, got involved. Guys, this thing is a pretty big deal in my town. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty salacious, to say the least. But the point is, it's probably happening in your town. But you probably don't pay attention or don't know because you just don't know or don't care. But so today I go to the courthouse and we're going to explain all this, y'all. We're going to expose a lot of this. I believe the corruption is real deep. Christy, go ahead and give some your final thought on this whole situation before we delve into these liberal lunatics. Go ahead.
So my thought is just, I am not a Midlander, and just like as an outsider looking in, it is a complete and total shit show that the library has not followed what has been recommended by the court. They have people that are asking for, and I'm putting quotes around this word too, volunteers' names to be
doxxing.
doxed and to put that the county has a right to know which volunteers went in and looked and tried to figure out what books needed to be removed. They also have put all kinds of opinion articles. The best way you can really get the best knowledge and understand how tainted the
Crazy.
MRT, the Midland, the newspaper for Midland, the news media source for Midland is they're standing beside these evil and wicked people and wanted to know every volunteer's name so that they could publicly announce them. They're trying to dox these people. It was all being oversaw by a court of law, and I think it's absolutely disgusting what these people are doing. And the people that stand for it, shame on you.
And viewer discretion is advised. We're going to show you the main enemy of all that's good in Midland. This is the person that's writing hit pieces with MRT. Here it is. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh, so this woman, something's very interesting about this lady here. This woman likes to go make articles and make posts on Facebook about people, and she says that she doesn't want the government to, telling her how to live her life. And Christy, it's pretty interesting because she says that, but what was she doing during the Rona season, ladies and gentlemen? Let's take a look at that. If I can move this over.
What
Excuse
was
me,
she
hold
doing,
on.
Nina?
She was right here.
Yeah.
She's right here at a privately owned business in Midland. Let's zoom in on this person. She's here at a privately owned business, masked up, harassing the business owners of Midland, Texas. So today she's saying that she don't want the government to, tell her what she can and can't do. Yet here she is thinking that she's Big Daddy government and trying to get people arrested, charged, fined for having their businesses open
And their
to make money.
businesses shut down.
Yes, during the Rona season. This is a Rona, a vaccine queen. Her husband, which we're going to show in a minute, is basically her accomplice, and he is at the hospital. And sooner or later, I think I'm going to go down to that hospital and have a meeting there or
They both are.
exercise my free speech on that public sidewalk. But here she is trying to shut down privately owned business. Yet she doesn't want the government to be doing the same thing to her, basically. Christy, what do you think about this hypocritical stance of this woman here?
It was government mandates that told us that we're trying to tell us average citizens how to live, that we had to put on masks, that we had to be vaccinated up. And that was a personal choice. You can't have it both ways. You can't stand for one thing and against something else. And she absolutely is just a fraud. I do not like her. She's been tied with degenerate groups and things that go against American policy, and I do not like her. And I'm calling her out right now. If she wants to have a conversation, Christy, to her, we can do it any day she wants to.
Okay, so they gave a statement. They were there at the courthouse with a bunch of degenerate enablers, I would say. And again, my point is this: these people, y'all, want to use the government when it's convenient for them. These people want to push degenerate material and sexually explicit content to children and have it easily accessible. The stuff that I heard today, sis, in the courthouse, if you didn't blush, I don't know what kind of person you are. This was disgusting, pornographic books and material that this kind of person right here wants children to have. Chrissy, it goes a little bit deeper. This woman is not just a masker. What else does this woman do? Go ahead.
She's a nurse. She also stands for wanting to help illegal immigrants she was so worried because illegal immigrants didn't have food, housing, clothing and stuff like that. But more importantly, they didn't have art supplies. And one Midland woman wanted to change all of that.
Wow.
She was so disappointed that illegal immigrants did not have art supplies.
And Christy,
she also stood.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
she
go ahead.
She also stood with BLM and was a foster parent and quit fostering during the pandemic, which that seems like the time that children would probably need somebody the most, especially foster kids, but quit fostering during the pandemic, but wanted to take her children to see the importance of BLM and stood with BLM during the protest.
Wow. And I'm trying to pull something else up right here. This is the people we have
Yeah,
in Midland,
she.
y'all. This is supposed to be a conservative
Mhm.
town. It's getting pretty bad due to people like this, y'all, and her supporters. Let's go ahead and go over here to this one now. Check this out. This is where it's kind of weird. This is pretty interesting, y'all. So this is her husband. How is this not a conflict of interest? I don't know. But this woman works at the hospital. Her husband's also some big figure at the hospital. And during the
He's
Rona
a doctor.
season, yeah, he's a doctor. And everybody knows in Midland that you don't ever want to go to Midland Memorial Hospital. My opinion is this, that, I'd rather go to Odessa or anywhere else besides Midland. I don't want to die. So that's my opinion, that I would never go to Midland Memorial Hospital for any, services whatsoever. That's just the common consensus around the common folk. But again, these guys are higher up and more smarter than the average everyday Midlander. They think they know what's best for everybody. This person and her husband were the ones really pushing for the mask mandates and the fines for businesses in the city of Midland. And again, y'all, but now they want to claim that they don't want the government telling them what to do at court today. But not that long ago, they were doing actually what they say that they stand against. Christy, ain't that hypocritical?
It is because if you look her name up, and I can give that to anybody that requests it privately. I don't know, Nino, if you want to say it on here, but she was so happy with the way that the local and state politics responded in the COVID and how it played into businesses and things like that. While she was purposely standing in front of these businesses, friends, people that even I outside of Midland have become friends with now, trying to shut their businesses down because they made it pro-choice if you wore a mask into their business or not.
Wow.
If they did not wear a mask, she wanted that business shut down.
Basically wanting to punish and even stop families from making money to feed their families. The hypocrisy of these
And said
lunatics.
that and said that she also was so disappointed in learning that she didn't know her friends and family, and these are all quotes, her friends and family as well as she thought whenever it came to the pandemic. Well, she probably had family members that stood up to her and said, we're not standing for this mess. And she was so disappointed that they took that route.
My wife said today,
They
sis.
also,
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mhm. I was just going to say, she also made a post about how much that their pro-masking advocacy efforts hurt them because of the pushback that resulted from it, that they were just so harmed by their pro-masking advocacy and how they thought that they could save Midland and the pushback that they received. It's just disgusting.
We weren't going for it, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll never go for it, ever. My point is this, though. It's just weird how this woman and her cronies, she's part of the LGBT movement, too. They're all with her and the BLMers, how these people have access to our information from the hospital. Kind of weird, right? Alarming, I would say. And they also have access to private citizens, being volunteers at the library. These people have information or, stuff that they can shouldn't be available to them. Like, how did they know? They knew that the volunteers were going Saturday up there. How'd they get that information? It seems like these people are all connected, from the news to the hospital to the even courthouse to even law enforcement. Y'all, this is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with in our local swamp in Midland, Texas. And if anything, let this be alarming to you and let this set the alarm for you. This was happening probably in your city. You're probably not involved. You're probably watching the Cowboys like we did yesterday. You're just having a great time feeding, trying to survive in Biden's America, in the Bidenomics. But you don't know there's people at play that are in cahoots together. They can have a lot of time and money to sit here and try to dictate how you live, how to raise your children, and what they can basically be forced to look at when they go into the public library. Again, the librarian is a masker. I was harassed when I went to the public library about not wearing a mask. You can't tell me that someone like that is not of a certain mindset that's against mine. They can somehow have an agenda that's clear to see. Go ahead, sis.
The books that were in question, and like anybody that would like to see just some of the material, I can privately give it to you. But it spoke of things about ways to self-harm. It spoke of group masturbation. It spoke of rape. It spoke of everything that you would always want to keep your child away from. And for the MRT to want to a list of books was given to these volunteers to go in and just research the material on them, see what it says, show what the pictures are.
Man.
They did that. They got proof of those things that they felt like needed to come off of the children's shelf and move to an adult shelf, so that the adults, if you feel it is okay for your child to see that, if you feel that that kind of stuff is okay, then you take your child to the adult section and you do that.
What's pretty weird, hold on real quick. What's pretty weird is how basically the MRT, I forgot the journalist's name. I didn't see MRT there today, right? But it's weird how they have this information and they have these articles and they were waiting Saturday for, the volunteers to show back up. I kind of wish it was this weekend. I wish I would have went up there. I wonder if they would put the camera in my face. But I digress. But it's weird how these people are working in conjunction. The media, it seems, the library, and then this, liberal over here, this masker, and maybe even her husband. It's like they're all in cahoots together. I can't find nothing solid as of yet, but it's not hard to see, y'all, that something weird is happening in my town. Whenever they have the connection with the media, from there, they work obviously in the hospital. They're pro-maskers. They want to shut down businesses. Obviously, as you can see, they had a whole group for pro-masking and, giving violations for people that didn't wear a mask in my city a while back. I mean, these people are entrenched in the local politics in my city. They are at the courthouse proceedings. Same thing, same way I'm there too, right? These people are a formidable opponent. These people even use Christianity against the Christians. There was someone that was with them, this a lukewarmer, that basically said that we need to all get along, and that she's a Christian, but she's sitting with these people, right? And stating how, her stance is, with these books, that basically giving the authority to a higher power than our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's how I took it. A lukewarmer, middle of the road person, and it was pretty disgusting to say the least. Again, these are the people we're up against in Midland, y'all, and I don't care what they got to say about me. I just know that these are the kind of people that are here in the community that are obviously against the Christian patriots of Midland, Texas. And again, they're probably the same kind of people in your town, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, sis.
So just a couple of things that I found. If anybody goes to Facebook and looks up the Midland Reporter Telegram,
they got us all blocked.
You can read all kinds of things.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, if they blocked me, I'm unblocked because I found it. It says the Reporter Telegram initially didn't ask the names of the volunteers involved in the roundup of book titles. We are working with the county to produce those names for publication. They are admittedly stating that they want to dox these people that went in they didn't go in as Christians. They didn't go in as a Republican, as a Democrat. They went in to look at these things to see if they were appropriate to be on the shelves for our children in the children's section. All they wanted was a simple move to the adult section so that the adults could make the decision if that's a book that they could check out. And that's the kind of backlash that these volunteers are getting. Threats of doxing, of repercussion. It's ridiculous. And then this person that we're talking about, this lady, she has already been quoted. I think it was today, actually. And I think she said, "This has gotten out of hand. I feel sorry for the staff of the library who have to deal with these women who are intent on finding obscene material.
Wow.
Commissioner Anderson knows that the books can only be removed or reshelved if they violate the Texas Penal Code." Those things that I saw would absolutely violate the Texas Penal Code.
I saw it at Abilene, Texas, just got rid of all these books, and they just got rid of them out of the library because they didn't want to be held liable or be sued by, I guess, law enforcement or be in trouble due to giving pornographic material to children. This is the stuff that they're pushing, y'all. This woman and her people push BLM ideology, illegal mask mandates, even fines and shutting down businesses for not adhering to these mandates. They stand with the local LGBT, HDTV, HELL, whatever, right? They stand with all them, right? And these people push a certain kind of agenda in my city. And again, seeing these people out full force, again, like my wife said, they're just mad because they basically lost this situation. But the sad part is The library's not listening. That's why they had another meeting, because people went and took it upon themselves to take them books out themselves. Again, it's all a swamp. It's all a circle of these leftist lunatic liberals that are just basically entrenched in the local government and situations and places in my city. And it should alarm you, ladies and gentlemen, that it's happening probably in your city.
They didn't. The Midland Reporter Telegram didn't. They did an opinion article on what she thought. They didn't ask for an opinion that went the other way. She just said it's not my place to parent other people's children, nor is it the government's responsibility. Well, okay, you're fake for saying that, because you were allowing the government to decide for everybody if you had your children at school, if your children had to be vaccinated. I said the word, and I'm sorry. And masked up. And I just think it is absolutely. She's just a terrible woman.
It's sad, y'all. This is the ops out here, but this is what we got to deal with. You have to go through the court proceedings. It takes a long time. Christy, I didn't even really want to get involved in all this stuff, but now I'm involved in it. I stayed from 9 to 12 for the whole, court session. It's draining. Being around a bunch of these wicked people with these disgusting, piss poor, excuses of why these books should be around kids. I mean, come on, y'all. It's very simple. Keep the disgusting sexualized material away from our children. If they want to read it when they're 18 plus, whatever. But why would anybody want these disgusting books, these perverted books around our children? Well, I'll tell you why. Look at the person that's pushing for that stuff. Her and her beta husband. I don't like these people. That's my opinion. You ain't got to like it. I don't like them for nothing. And then the witch has the audacity, y'all, to get a police escort when she walks out the building today. Lady, ain't nobody trying to come touch you or even talk to your sorry ass. Go ahead, sis.
Just from trying to shut down businesses to try to keep this pornographic material in a children's section. What is her agenda really? I mean, that's what I look at. I'm going to look at the agenda of what is wrong. They don't leave Playboy out in the children's section. This is the same pictures that I saw are probably worse than what I would ever see in a Playboy magazine.
Totally agree. And with that, I want to go ahead and before we'll lay off of her for now. Anyways, I'll digress, y'all. It's pretty sad.
So what happened?
Pray for Midland. Go ahead, sis. I wanted to touch on the pastors, but go ahead.
What happened at the meeting today? What was the final outcome?
Basically, people are just aware. The citizens are fed up. They don't want this filth happening. Of course, the leftist, lunatic, liberals, LGHD community wants to come out and say it's okay. And they're saying that why and now all of a sudden people won't have a problem with these books been on the shelves for years because the public's waking up. And it's a nationwide movement of people saying they don't want this filth pushed upon their children. So really, it just showed the commissioners that the citizens of Midland are pissed. That's why I talk about Pastor Roy Smith. He gave an awesome argument, 2-minute, statement. Him and his church, True Light, they showed up. I want to publicly acknowledge them. I want to do a whole nother video on them. I actually want to interview Pastor Roy Smith. He doesn't mince words. We walked in there. Some commissioners that are for this filth, you could tell by the way they smugly look at us and smile and laugh. One of them, he got told off by Pastor Roy Smith. I even told him too. I said, "Who do you work for, sir?" Right? The whole thing's online. I'm going to get the clips and post them later. But basically, the outcome is that really the policies need to be adhered to and they need to be enforced. But then you got the masked lunatic liberal, librarian, I would say, with, walking in with a big old face diaper, the biggest face diaper I've seen in my life, saying that they don't have time, or they said that they didn't change the books or move the books because they didn't have a signed policy with a name and a date. Like I said, these people are very good and cunning and know how to work around the law to stall things and to help indoctrinate kids further. So really, all it did was put the light on it, let the commissioners know that we're pissed off and they need to do something about it. And really, like I said, my wife said, these people lost. The leftist lunatic liberals lost, and they're just like the demons that are getting cast out of, like when Jesus would cast them out, they're crying and they're squirming and everything because they got cast out. The lunatic liberals lost, the Christians won, but the point is the librarians don't want to adhere to the policies that were already enacted. They don't want to basically, do what the commissioner court told them to do. Abilene, Texas, like I said, they got rid of all them books because they don't want to be held liable for giving kids pornographic material. They just want to get these books and put them in the adult section. The library is not doing it because a librarian is a masker. What does that tell you? They're stalling on this. So really, to be honest, I don't think it really did much besides bring more eyes to the situation. It's a local fight happening. It's a storm brewing, and I'm all with it. I'm standing on my side against them at all time. But like I said, the court proceeding basically just said that they need to be more aware, and that the library needs. What can the library do? They actually want to throw more money at it. They want to hire more, librarian assistants to help pull these books. It ain't that hard, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, it's just a bunch of government bloat, and really, I feel like nothing really got accomplished besides maybe some of the commissioners hearing more of this disgusting filth that they talked about. Since I'm telling you, the stuff that I heard, I would go to Facebook jail or get my channel taken down if I said what was read today in the court proceeding. So some of the court commissioners said, hey, I never heard that. I never knew that. We agree that needs to be moved to the adult section. The whole point is, y'all, these books need to be put into an adult section. And these wicked pervert enablers, these maskers, these vaccine queens want to keep this material around children. What does that tell you? And it's a little group, a movement of these wicked people that are even aligned with some lukewarm Christians that are sitting there with the LGHDTV community combating this.
And BLM.
They're BLMers, okay? And then her husband works at the hospital. And she's at the hospital. I didn't say that she released anybody's medical records, but I'm saying this. You think that she can't access your medical records? You think, I'm going to be honest, I kind of worry that I'd go somewhere like this and be beat up against my own permission. Who knows? I don't know. If these people work at the hospital and they're pro-V people, who knows what they could do? I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm just saying in this day and age, I don't trust nobody. And I don't trust a leftist lunatic, masker, pro-V person that wants to push filth to my children. I really don't trust them. I don't like them. I actually hate them. Go ahead, sis.
I completely agree, Nino. It's just disgusting. And the librarian has lied that I know of twice now. They're not following commissioner of the court's orders. And you've got people like this lady standing for all of that. And y'all got a fight on your hands. And I have never seen such an outsider looking in. You posted something on Facebook yesterday that you would love for somebody to write a letter regarding what they see happening in the library and all that. Myself as an outsider looking in, I would love to be the one to write that letter. I have never seen such filth in all my life. And
I will keep saying it. I might not get the most views. This might not be the most entertaining subject, but to me, it matters. This is the kind of content to me. I guarantee the people from my city are going to watch this, and they're watching, just paying attention. Shame on this woman. Shame on her beta, effeminate loser husband. I don't like them for nothing. And again, I think that they're all in cahoots. I can't prove it yet. But from the library to the newspaper to the hospital to maybe even the courthouse, something fishy is going on in Midland, Texas. I even said that when I gave my statement. So before we get off of this, y'all, these people have their people. They have their helpers. Hold on. They have their help. They have their backing. In Midland, you know what? God bless the Christians that came out. God bless Pastor Roy Smith. Sis, I don't know if you want to touch on anything about these degenerate pervert enablers that live in my city with big pockets. Before we move on to Pastor Roy Smith, I'm going to give him flowers. Go ahead, sis, before we move on.
The only thing that I can say is whenever, we are working with, people that reach out to us that need help, their missing loved ones or cold cases and all that. The private detective that we were working with specifically said that per capita, Midland, Odessa has the highest amount of sexual predators against children in the nation per capita. That's saying something huge. That's saying something huge. Yep.
Okay.
And like you said, I feel like that. And I've thought this for a while now. I feel like that everybody thinks because it's this huge oil town and because money can kind of buy anything, that everything is just accepted there, that there's not Americans that won't stand up against it. Well, they're wrong.
And not just that, Pastor Roy Smith had a great point that these elected officials there's a higher power than them, and they're all going to make account come judgment day. Is what I got to say about that. Real quick though, this weenie and his wicked Rona vaccine queen work at the hospital, in high positions. And when it's convenient for them, they'll be doing this, y'all. Trying to get businesses shut down. Remember that face. This woman right here is this woman right here riding for the MRT. She goes and tries to get private businesses shut down due to mandates about the mask. And this is her husband. This made up weenie loser. Tell me that they're not all connected. Tell me that something is not weird about that situation. They work at the hospital and they are very pro-mask, pro-V people. And not only to that extent, they will go to your business and try to shut you down. This woman was notorious for driving her van around Midland, Texas, and trying to get people shut down and probably even arrested and or at least fined for not enforcing mask mandates. That's the people I got to deal with in my city, sis. It's sad.
People are asking what they can do to help. I think just even making
pray for us.
I think even pray, and I
don't
think
worry,
also,
Christy. When we got a call to action, we'll let y'all know. We're just trying to figure out how to go about this situation. Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, even just comments on the MRT reporter, like on some of their posts about why they took such a biased stance against everything. It should have been neutral reporting, not focused on. They're calling these people. So they've called these volunteers that were there just to help, like, go through these books and rehome them to a different area of the library, have been called fascist, have been called Nazi, have been called the book burning mom club, have had, and also the Midland Reporter is wanting to dox those people's names. It is. I've got it screenshotted. It's
in black and white.
Here.
It's in black and white, right, Chris?
Yes.
I kind of got on the Chris that said, "Sis, we can't be saying this if it's not true." It was true.
Nina was like, "Christy, you shouldn't have said that. That is not true." I was like, "I am the list keeper. It is true." He was like, "No, it's not." I was like, "I promise it really is. Let me go with this." And he did, and it was. We have it in black and white where they want those volunteers' names and everything doxed to the public. And I think it is an absolute shame.
And it's sad too, y'all, because you can't just go and just whoop somebody's ass. Let's be honest. You can't just take law into your own hands. You have to go through these court proceedings. You have to get obviously slandered by the MRT and these Rona weenies and COVID Karens. This is what you have to do to enact change in your city. Hey, I'm America. I'm from Southside Midland. I'm tell you right now, these people ain't coming over here. They ain't come try to shut my business down. It ain't gonna happen. But this is what you got to deal with, y'all. You got to go through a court of law. You got to go to these boring proceedings. And I'm doing it. They're doing it. But are you doing it? So with that, let's talk about the people that ain't doing it and the people that are doing it. Let's compare two men real quick, Christy. Let's go here. This right here. Oh, if I can get over here. Sorry, y'all. Now I'm messing up.
I know that there was a lot of support there, Nino. I saw a couple of the interviews you did when you were on the Facebook Live, and there were a lot of supporters there in the same mindset that we are, just to rehome the books to a different area. And but I'm telling you, they want to turn everything into this big ordeal in Midland, and it makes you wonder why they're coming so hard for the children.
And this is why
I've said it from day one, and I got to say this, and this is, I don't understand the lack of integrity out of that county. I don't know why there's so many missing people out of that county. I don't know why there's so many murdered females out of that county. Something is not right. And I'm just saying, usually if it swims like a fish, it's a fish.
Well, let's put the blame on somebody. I have on the screen right here Sheldon Riley. This man, I tagged him. You know, no other pastors went to go help us. This man never goes. He's on my list right here. And it's a bunch of pastors. Stonegate, Mid-Cities, Elevate, that whack church, all these churches in Midland that never go stand up for the community. They think they stand up against evil. Unless they trying to kill you, dox you, harass you, you ain't stood up against nothing. You're in that pulpit, Sheldon Riley, you freaking obese, lard ass, pathetic, so-called pastor. You're in that church all comfortable taking selfies. You're a freaking grandfather's age wearing skinny jeans and you think you're the ish. I'm gonna tell you right now, Sheldon Riley, you're a pathetic excuse of a man, and you don't have a backbone, and this is what you call an imposter in Midland, Texas. Now let me show you what a real man looks like right here. Pastor Roy Smith. That's a real one. Hold on, sis. That's a real one. Pastor Roy Smith has stood many times. I've seen him so many times out there. And not just that, he even takes his church with him. That's a real pastor. This fool right here is an imposter. This fool right here, he probably ain't even, I know he ain't from Midland. I'm pretty sure Pastor Roy Smith is born and bred in Midland. This fraud, fat, lard-ass loser, this guy right here wasn't born here, and he's probably going to get the money and skip town. Shame on you, Sheldon Riley, and shame on every other church. Hold on, sis. Shame on every other church in Midland that didn't even go stand up today. No other church, no other pastor went, as I never see them go stand up one time in the city. Mid-cities, Elevate, Stonegate, all the Catholic churches, they never go stand up. But salute this pastor, Pastor Roy Smith. He did go take a stand, and I see him all the time. Go ahead, sis.
What did Sheldon Riley say about free speech?
Oh, yeah. Sheldon Riley said that free speech is only for the ignorant and the loudmouth people. That's what he said. That's how stupid he is. That's how pathetic he is.
His church is nothing but a 501c3, and his lead pastor is his wife. And you know what the Bible says about a woman leading a church.
Horrible. Tired of Paul. Sheldon Riley says South. Who is this? Sheldon Riley runs Southside Midland. Who's saying that crap?
Where?
Hey, Pastor Roy's my pastor says, Lorraine, you got a good pastor. I'm gonna tell you right now. Christy. When I saw and heard Pastor Roy Smith what he said, I'm gonna be honest. This. Let me reset my mic real quick. Hold on.
This tired of pods, I'm putting them in timeout because they do this. They come on every time and try to do this stuff. So they're gone.
Yeah, it's all good. So this is the point, y'all. So we're trying to take a different kind of stance, right? As far as being, when you bring up religion, especially around a bunch of heathen, that's why I told my wife earlier. That's why when I made my statement, I didn't really bring up my Christian walk at all, because once you bring up the Bible and you start talking, the Christian talk, the heathen, the pervert enablers, they're already shut off to the gospel. They ain't even going to listen to you talk, right? So we've been trying to figure out how to go about these local issues and political issues without bringing up too much of our religion. Not saying that we don't ever, but sometimes we got to, work in a certain way to where we're not using the religion or the Bible for our stance, even though that's what we stand on. It's just kind of being wise, right? When Pastor Roy Smith went up there, he kind of did the same thing. But of course, I mean, a Christian is going to come out of a Christian no matter what. But when he said what he said, I want to get the clip. I actually recorded it, but I'm going to get the better audio. This man, when he said what he said, y'all, I kid you not, I said, man, that's a man of God. Midland, Texas should be grateful. And they should be thankful that they have a pastor like Roy Smith that just doesn't have a church. He brings his church with him. He takes a stand. And they don't like him. They're smirking at us up there, some of them commissioners. And he called them out. He said, you're smirking at me? You don't like me? He said, I don't like you. He told them. I was like, man, hey, you should have heard him, sis. He was like more wiser, older, calmer, Nino America. He told them right in their face, you don't like me? I don't like you. I don't like people that promote filth to children. He kind of pointed back there. I mean, it's obvious to see. But seeing Roy Smith, I told my wife, I kid you not, sis, I told my wife today, I said, you know what, when you get back into church, because our church, our pastor kind of moved on. It's a weird situation, but I told my wife, when we get back to church, I'm going to that church. I'm going to True Light Baptist Church, and I'm a Baptist. So when I saw Roy Smith in attendance, he don't play games. He speaks with authority. And what he said today, I'm telling you, it was probably the best statement up there, and I salute this man. Because like I said, you got this weenie. Hold on, sis. You got this weenie over here. This weenie, all he does is give turkeys away and food drives. I do that too with the car clubs. Anybody can do that. But this pathetic excuse of a man right here is never in the hood, never in the community. But he ain't the only one. It's a lot of them that are just like him. This man right here is nothing compared to this man. This is a real pastor. This is someone from Midland that cares, and I salute Pastor Roy Smith. Go ahead, sis. Sorry about that.
No, I was going to say on his profile that you just showed, I love that it said he went to Robert E. Lee. He didn't change that he went to Legacy. And also, you were talking about the food drives and all that. Well, I know drug dealers that used to give away turkeys in the hood, too. Just because you give a turkey away doesn't mean that you're good-hearted.
Amen. Kirk says he looks like a liberal. Well, that's whenever you're talking about Roy Smith, that's when you judge unrighteously, brother. And we're all guilty of it, but he ain't a liberal. This man Roy Smith does not play games. and he's a Baptist, and that's what I am. So anyway, sis, everybody watching, we would wanted to bring this to y'all's attention. Like I said, this is more of a issue with me and my city. I'm gonna stand up against them. I saw one of the LDHD crew with the Wicked Witch of the North, and basically I told him right there in front of the bailiffs and everybody, y'all, it's not a threat, but I said, hey, ain't you the one always talking about me on your podcast? He was with that other Rainbow, what's his name, sis? The one that changed Lehigh. I forgot his name. But another obese pervert, they're on their podcast bringing up my name, making fun of Christians. I told him, hey man, I said, how about you keep my name out your mouth, bro? And that he didn't know what to say. He slithered away. But I told him straight up in his face, bro, you keep talking about on your podcast. How about you keep my name out your mouth? And he just slithered away. So with that, y'all, we just want to bring light to the situation. Again, this is just a personal situation in my backyard. I'm gonna be honest. If your favorite influencer, creator, content creator, whatever, if they ain't doing stuff like this, y'all, what are they doing for the community? And that ain't nothing to big me up, but you gotta think about that, y'all. Anybody can go make videos and expose stuff. That's not very hard. I mean, it is a certain degree of difficulty in getting it out there. But is your favorite person Adam Calhoun and Tom McDonald, all these other perverted neighbors, are they out there doing anything like this? No, they go and dress up like these people. What does that tell you? So I'm going to tell you something right now. What we're going to do is we're going to expose wickedness like the Bible says. And we don't need, if we don't blow up, we don't. If we do, whatever. But the point is, we're fed up with this crap. And I don't care what anybody says about me and my platform. I sleep real good at night with my family, and we live a conservative life. We are Christians, and we don't stand for the filth. And my little son, mark my words, my little son is watching his father, and he's already wise beyond his years. And I thank God that my son, when he grows older, God willingly, like the Bible says, I'm training him the right way. When he grows up, he's going to be on the same path as me. So we might dwindle in numbers. We might not be the most vocal or the most out there, but there's Christian conservatives such as myself that are showing the next generation that we're not playing these games. And my kids are just like me, if not more rougher and probably a little bit more meaner. And they really don't like the wicked things of this world. And I'll leave it at that. Go ahead, sis. Final words.
No, I just love everything you did today. And we know where our path is. We know where our path is taking us. And we're never going to quit going in hard on the vile and wicked.
Amen. And with that, y'all, keep following us closely. To be honest, I want to play this little clip. Sis, how much time do we got left?
We got as much as you want.
Right? Okay, so check this out, y'all. I'm going to go to my Facebook page. This is a pretty funny interaction. I got to play. This is a great Patriot that I saw out there. And I was standing up for her. But then after a while, I kind of let the guy go. I let him slide because the point is, he's a journalist. I understand journalists are not liked, but he was up there, and I took a live video. I did an interview with someone that can explain it better, and I'll go to my Facebook page. But I want to react to this video, sis. It was a pretty good little fiery little interaction I got with this woman. She went up there and she was trying to give her time to speak because you can only speak for 2 minutes. So we're gonna react to this video, y'all, of this interview I did. It's about 6-8 minutes, but I want to react to it. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good. Here it is. Tell me if y'all can hear it. So what happened with this woman right here, let me line it up. So what happened here, y'all, is this woman got to speak, but she said that she wanted to, God bless her. I forgot her name, but she'll say it in a minute. But she wanted to clear her name because she said she was being slandered. So this is pretty interesting, Christy. Hold on. She was being slandered, and she was one of the volunteers that went up there, and the media was all over them. I'm telling you, it's weird. The media has an agenda. And they're pretty belligerent, to say the least. This woman,
she was pretty savage.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it, y'all. Check it out. Let's watch this together. Can you give a statement real quick?
And I said, it's none of your business.
Ma'am, can you give a statement real quick?
What about what?
So what were you saying about this reporter right here?
The radio guy followed me around.
See, what I was going to do is I was going to confront this guy and put the camera on him, which I did. But like I said, I kind of gave him leniency, sis, because, hey, he's a reporter. But I thought he was harassing her more than what he should have. But let's continue, y'all. It's pretty interesting.
Right here. And he kept saying, what are you doing? Why are you here? I said, no comment. And he said, what are you checking out? I said, would you back off and get out of my personal space, please? He said, well, I'm 6 feet away. I had 4 feet away. And I said, no, so let's make it 6 feet. And he followed me up when I had to check out the book. These ladies were standing there trying to hear everything. And that lady bringing up that I had to get a library card. I've had a library card in the past.
Where are you from? That wicked witch, HB, she was lying on the stand saying that this woman, why are you bringing it up? But she said that this woman didn't have a library card, never had one. How could she, say what books are good or bad or whatever? That's what she said, Christy, that this woman never had a library card.
How would you know?
Good question. Good point. How would you know, right? Makes you think. How would they know this information?
Unless you're getting information
from somebody.
From the library computer. How would you know if somebody does? And you do not have to have a library card to walk into a library. You do have to have a library card to check out a book.
But she was mad about that. She was mad about that, Christy, that this other witch, this masker was lying on her about not having a library card. What the hell? Anyways, let me get out of this group, but we'll continue.
I'm originally from Arizona, but I've lived here since 1980. I'm a citizen of Midland, state of Texas. And I don't appreciate her coming up and saying, oh, well, they just came in and got a library card so they could check out these books.
So you believe that was slander on their part towards you?
Yeah, I kind of do. She had no business knowing that. How did she know? I mean, maybe she stood there and spied on me, but those people had no business to bring that into court. It's not her business. It was irrelevant to this case that we're talking about. So I had.
How's that her business, Christy?
It's not.
That's pretty.
It's not.
I'm telling you,
none of her business.
We're pulling info that's public knowledge. Okay, the stuff that this woman did, we have proof. She's writing articles. Hey, it's public knowledge, and we could react to it. These people are getting people's personal info and giving testimony with it, y'all. That's pretty alarming. Let's continue.
I had to get a new library card, big deal, but she's trying to make it seem like, well, we were just there to check out the books. No, that's not really true. And I'm sorry, but I was not there as a volunteer. I was as a private citizen, and I told them that, and I told the librarian that tried to make me fill out a form. I said, I'm not a volunteer here. I don't come in here and volunteer at the library. And they just were following me around. So was Stuart Doreen from the newspaper. He stood back there and he was watching everything we do just like him, the two of them.
Okay, hold on real quick, if you don't mind.
Huh? What?
I was going to tell him that I got something, but he was busy. But Stuart Doreen, I asked her, I know who it is. That's the main editor for MRT. My people can't stand Stuart Doreen, y'all. Let's continue. Christy, you want to say anything before I continue?
No, I just think that to harass somebody on when they had a library card, I couldn't tell you where my library card is right now to save my life.
How pathetic.
I know that I have one. And even if I did not, that is a public library.
Thank you.
And you can sign up for one even 5 seconds before any of this. Well, it makes no difference.
You can go there and lay on the bench. The hobos do it. You can go lay on a bench and just sit there all day and use the Wi-Fi if you want. It's a public library.
You can go in there and sit and read 52 books a day if you wanted to, and not ever have to check them out. It's a public library. That's what that's for. You can go in and do research. You can do all those things and not have to have a library card to do so.
It's interesting, though. This citizen right here is basically exposing this wicked witch, trying to, dox her and lie and slander her name. And then she's bringing up the local newspaper. Guys, I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but don't you see what I'm doing here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm piecing together what's happening in my town with the local media, citizens that have an obvious agenda and trying to force it upon the people. I'm exposing the filth and corruption in my town, y'all. This is wild. Let's continue. So what do you think? You think they were harassing you?
Well, it was kind of verging on that, following me around and keep asking me questions after I said, I don't want to talk to you. I have no comment for you. And he kept on and on and on.
Okay, thank you. And what's your statements on the whole situation with the books?
My feeling is we're not trying to ban books, burn books, be Nazis. One of these ladies called us Nazi biddies in the newspaper, I believe. And that's not what we are. We are concerned because some of these books, the one I was going to read from, according to the booklooks.org and Amazon even had this book listed in adult books. The library has it listed in the young adult 12 to 17. It's obscenity. I'm not going to say it's pornography because pornography is protected by the First Amendment, according to the Supreme Court. But this was obscene, and if you'd like to read it, I'll let you read it. But it's obscene, and they have it in the young readers section. It should be in the adult section or in a special section. We're not trying to ban books or burn books. We just want to take them out of the hands of young, impressionable children.
Awesome. And I saw you earlier, kind of get fiery up there, I guess, because you said they were slandering you and harassing you, correct?
Right. Yeah. That lady slandered me when she said, oh, she's just getting there. First, she just came in, the lady in the green dress.
Yeah, we know her.
I don't know her, and I don't and then a lady took my picture. Some lady walks in that room with their group and took a picture of me when I...
Check this out. I think I saw this lady when I was sitting on my side. I think they threw her on our side to kind of keep listening to us, sis. But there was a little, I think an Asian lady, all like this, old lady on her phone on TikTok, sis, and sending that. I saw the groups. I mean, I'm not trying to be looking over somebody's shoulder, but she's right there in front of everybody. And I'm like, who's this lady? This weird old lady on TikTok sending these videos to these big old groups. This is what these people do. But she says they started like basically doxing her and putting her on TikTok, y'all. That's one of the worst things you can do to somebody in this day and age is put them on TikTok because that goes everywhere.
Somebody needs to right now in our chat just go over to TikTok and search Midland Library, see if something's been posted over there about the events from today.
So let's continue.
Besides from us.
Yeah.
Me when I wasn't looking, and I turned around and I said, what are you doing? She says, oh, I took a picture. I said, you can't just take a picture of me. And Stuart Doreen pops up with, well, this is a public place. She can take a picture. And I said, I don't approve of that. That is not right. And you know what? She put that picture on TikTok.
Wow, that's kind of harassment and doxing, I would believe. But who is Stuart Doreen?
He's the representative for the Midland Reporter Telegram. And I'm sorry, but she put me on TikTok against my knowledge. That's not right.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And real quick, yes, Rachel, I agree. You're in a public setting. They can put you wherever they want in your public setting. But come on, like I said, is that really right? You know what I'm saying? That you're going to do it to somebody? Again, yeah, you can do whatever you want. But come on, y'all. But let's continue. America, and I'm putting it on my pages. I'm a local conservative Christian. And your name again, if you want to give it?
It's Kathy, Cathie, Broughton, Broten.
Nice to meet you. God bless you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. I just feel overwhelmed by this.
Okay. Check this out.
Thank you.
Hey, so you like to give a statement? They said that someone said they didn't want to. This woman said she didn't want to speak to you, and you chased her around with the camera. Who are you with?
My name's Mitch Borden with Marfa Public Radio. It was not a camera.
It was a radio.
And she was with Commissioner Anderson. Diane Anderson informed her that I would be recording. I was allowed to because it was a public space. I asked.
No, she didn't tell me that.
I recorded it and I reviewed it. And you asked why I was there, and she said he's with Marfa Public Radio, and he's going to be recording us.
And I told you no comment, and you continued to follow me around and ask me questions.
Is that true that she said to not follow her around? You still did?
She once yelled at me to get away from her when there was a table between us.
That was before that. I told you no comment long before that.
I was just doing my job in the library, seeing what Ms.
Doesn't no mean no? I mean, if she tells you to leave her alone, I mean, come on, man.
I'm just there reporting a story. I shouldn't have to walk away because someone says they don't want what their actions that are affecting the public to be recorded for the public.
Did you feel intimidated? That's kind of why I let him slide, y'all, because he's giving the right answers. He's right, you know what I'm saying? But I thought he was probably some kind of leftist liberal lunatic, which he probably maybe is. But I kind of let him slide, y'all, because he's doing basically what I'm doing. Put the camera in your face, and you don't like it, what can you do? You're in the public. Let's continue. Did you feel intimidated or uncomfortable?
Yes, and I told him to back away and quit following me, and he just continued to ask.
I was a distance away from her.
Okay, you got any other statements you want to say?
At one point, you were right behind me, and you were trying to see what book I was going to pick up. Let's be honest. Don't lie.
There was a table in between us, and I could read the text of the book from 4 to 5 feet away. So I read the text to myself. And concerning the library card sign up, everyone standing by the desk could hear her sign up for a library card. So there wasn't no librarian gave us information. And I was just there doing my job, trying to make sure what happened was recorded.
Well, the lady in the green dress, who I'm sure you know, said that I came in specifically to get a book and I had to get a library card. I've had a library card.
Yeah,
okay?
I can't say.
I'm just saying that that's slander. She doesn't have any business talking.
How would she get information about that? Do you know?
I have no idea. Maybe it was an assumption, but like we could hear. You sign up for a library card. That's all I can say.
And why were you so interested to stand up and hear what I was doing? What business was it of yours, what I was doing at the desk? It was not your business.
You want to respond to that?
I mean,
can't say anything.
Oh, I can. This is part of an organized effort to review books and remove them from shelves.
Now, wait. We're not saying remove them from shelves.
Can y'all hear me?
We are not saying remove them from shelves. We are saying remove them from those shelves into appropriate shelves.
All I'm saying is that a little over a week before, books were taken off and locked in a room, and it appeared that was going to happen again, and I was reporting on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Locked in a room. I wasn't locking anybody in a room or doing anything. I was getting a book off the shelf. He's.
Thank you for your time, ma'am. Everybody. So as y'all can tell, y'all, it's a lively debate happening in my city. And I guess what's kind of weird is the lines of the media and the people are like blurring. It's like the media, even him, seem to have a slant or an agenda. Hey, I'm a Christian conservative. I'm letting it be known. I'm a MAGA hat, straight pride. I mean, they already know who I am in my city. They know what I stand for. I gave a statement today, and like I said to my wife, I really have to give a statement. They see me there. They know who I am. My presence makes a statement. To be honest, not to be big-headed, but you know what I'm saying. They already know what I believe. Okay, there's nothing new to it. But the thing is, when you have people like MRT and maybe even this gentleman that you think are a reputable news source, the lines get blurred on the agenda, and we think that they should give us, unbiased opinion and unbiased, news reporting. Yet it's like they're giving us, what they want to give us. They want to give us a slanted, an opinion-based. They're not giving us the unbiased news or opinion. Your thoughts, Christy, and let's wrap it up.
So, and whenever I was watching it live and you were interviewing those two, I put in the comments on Facebook that I thought he seemed sketchy. He did. That was just my personal vibe. I
agree.
Like he got called. I feel like that he got called out. I think that he was.
I called him out, huh?
On every conversation. I think he was spying on every conversation that was to be had in there.
Christy, it's like they had an agenda. You hear how you said it? We're there to report. Like it's like they were already talking about all this and like knew what they wanted to hear or what they wanted to capture.
Yep, and I'm about 99% sure that the person that puts all them together is the same degenerate lady that we were calling out earlier.
She's in on it.
Yeah, and I think that she is calling like her side of the troops to action, and
yes.
We'll win in the end. Good always wins. Good always wins.
And Christy, I'm gonna be honest, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, her husband works at the hospital. She does too. I did not commit suicide. If I ever go to the hospital, y'all, in Midland Memorial, please ring the alarm. I don't want to be there. I don't ever want to go to Midland Memorial Hospital due to my opinion. I think that people are always dying there. In my opinion, Midland Memorial Hospital sucks. And this is the people that run it, y'all. Her and her beta husband, these BLM massacres, y'all. Screw them. How about that? So anyways, y'all, that's my statement on that. I don't ever want to go to Midland Memorial, and she's tied into it from Midland Memorial to the newspaper to other news agencies to the courthouse and beyond. The swamp is deep in Midland, Texas, and the point is, it's probably the same thing in your town. I'm uncovering it.
It
With
sure
that,
is.
Chrissy, thanks for joining me. God bless everybody watching. I dropped another video earlier. Check out the videos on YouTube, y'all, and on Rumble. God bless y'all in the name of Christ our Lord. I'm out of here. Thanks, Chrissy, for joining me. Thank you, everybody watching now on the repeat. Gotta go. You're an American. You're a patriot. You got grit. Act like it. We're out.